Guys, it's all Donnie's fault that we're
It is. Always. No matter what the question is, that's the answer.
Yes.
But it
Donnie
truly was this time.
To be fair, we were going to record this past Saturday, right? Super early for me because I was like, you know what? We got to do what we got to do. But then I impulse, I wouldn't say purchased, but I agreed to get a flu shot. That thing fucked me up.
It knocks you right out.
For 2 days, though. I don't think I'm ever getting a flu shot again.
No. And you know what's crazy?
Why did they do that to me?
I don't know. Do you normally get a flu shot?
Well, because I had just had COVID. So when I went in to get a physical, they were like, you're due for a booster and a flu shot. And I was like, well, I just had COVID.
Yeah.
And she's like, what about a flu shot? And I don't know why. It all happened so fast.
I know.
And I was like, okay, yeah. Stupid.
That's what happened to me. I've never gotten a flu shot my whole life. And then when COVID was like big and popping, my doctor was like, you should get a flu shot. So I said, yeah, I'm afraid of everything right now. I don't want to die. I don't want COVID. Don't want a flu shot. So I got the flu shot. And then it knocked me out for like 2 days as well. And then it was the first time I ever got the flu was when I got the shot. I said, this is a setup. So I hope that does. I hope it doesn't happen to you. But if it does, we're on to something.
Yeah, because I felt like I had it gave me like a migraine.
It's awful. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt, and I just had that like overall like, oh, I just don't feel good. And so, fuck that. Not doing that again.
Fuck it indeed. Yeah.
Fuck that indeed. And Donnie has just been jet setting around America. So
I've never been so popular. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's like every weekend.
Yeah. Sorry.
So it's Donnie's fault.
It is. I apologize.
But we have a big action-packed episode because we're going to do 2 episodes of the challenge, and then we're also going to do House of Villains.
We got a lot to talk about.
We have so much to talk about. I have in my notes that I don't think I ever said, but maybe we already did because I forgot. Maybe I forgot to delete it. It says in my notes, last week we said TJ's silly tease of it only takes one ball wasn't applicable. But then there was the other Alyssa that went out that only had one ball. Did we talk about that already?
I don't believe so.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm glad I wrote that down. Because someone DM'd me. A couple people DM'd. They're like, I know you guys couldn't remember and she's easily forgettable. But it was the other Alyssa.
Fair enough. And that's exactly why. Yeah.
That's
out of sight, out of mind.
So funny.
Yeah.
Like,
when Alyssa went home, I never thought about her again.
Of course, it was like, oh yeah, her. She doesn't count.
No.
She doesn't count. Okay, so this is episode 12, so not this past one. So after that, Desi and Chanel confront Michelle about not voting for Tori. This is what Michelle is good for, because she will give you a full, like, meltdown.
Yeah.
And, like, be shady and stuff. So, like, she gets... so Tori confronts all 3 of them. Like, they're talking, and then Tori comes in like, ladies, what happened here? And Chanel confesses. Desi confesses and cries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry for lying to you. It's like, we don't need to do that.
No, it ain't that. It's a game, baby.
Yeah. She's like, I'm like, you're putting a little too far. You're selling it a little too much. Okay. A little too far. But Michelle is like typically snaky. And she admits, she's like, I'm sorry you were led to believe I was going to vote for Tori. I'm like, well, I think you like said you were going to vote for Tori. So you can't really say that.
It was very gaslighty, but I liked it.
Yeah, Michelle's good at that. She's like, she knows how to just slither. Like, you can't really, like, catch her. You're like, okay, fine. Just go over there. But, you know, Tori just says it's going to be best man wins now. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, okay, girl.
Here we go.
I didn't realize Josh is talking to the guys. I didn't realize he's never even been in the top 5 before.
Me neither. No. Pathetic.
So pathetic. And I really was rooting for him, but the way he goes out, we'll get into it.
God.
Oh God. Okay. The challenge is brain squeeze. You grab your bag of puzzle pieces and carry them over back to the puzzle making area, and you build your puzzle first. And so I'm like, Bananas has it already figured out. He goes, there is 7 bags. And I'm like, there's 7 bags, everybody. There are 7 puzzle pieces to get. But Michaela is the only one who knows there's 8. And she even lies to Bananas so he doesn't go check down that hall. I love her.
She's brilliant this season. Yeah.
Yes, she's giving.
I know she's been in a couple seasons before, but I feel like this season really cemented her place in the challenge, and we will see a lot of her in the future, I think.
Is she the one? Is this someone else I'm thinking of? Is she the one who was on the challenge for one, got voted off the first challenge?
Yes.
That's her. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, girl. Yeah. Desi gives Chris the heads up. She's like, there are 3 more pieces. We're in this together. And they start building their pieces. And I love when the vets find out. They're like, hey, are there 8? Damn it. Damn it. So they go back in, but Chris and Desi win. Bananas gives Chris his props. He goes, attention to detail, my friend. Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
And like he was told, he was given the heads up. You were lied to, which I support fully, but you were fully lied to.
Yeah.
Back at the house, Michaela tells the guy that she wants it to be a girl's day. Duh. But then Michelle confronts Michaela, and it's hilarious. Michaela's eating something. She's just sitting eating something, and Michelle is doing her thing. She's like, and Michaela goes, this is called unraveling, Michelle. Michelle's like, nuh-uh, this is part of the meltdown. So it's a meltdown. It's a meltdown, not an unraveling. Get it right. Get it correct. Michelle, you want to paint me out to be a villain? I'm a mess. That's a fact, but I'm not the villain. Michaela goes, finally, we can agree on something. And Michelle says, at least I'm the stable one. I'm called Michelle Down, but even I'm more stable than you.
Which I don't know where's she basing that off of?
That's what's so ironic. I'm like, you. And then Michaela just goes, you don't look stable right now. All right, nominations. Desi wanted to vote Tori because, or does not want to vote Tori because she's like, I need to right that wrong. So Michelle, duh. Chris wants revenge, and I don't blame him. Okay, like fair.
Right.
So Josh hasn't even been nominated, but they end up going with Fessy because Fessy like fully betrayed him. Fessy was like, I'm totally not going to vote for you, dude. And then did. Did Johnny really put a banana peel at the door to the secret vote? Like he's so in love with himself. He's like, my brand will never be forgotten. Banana peel.
So dumb.
So dumb. Okay, in the hopper there was Corey with 1, Chanel with 1, and then Cassidy boop 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 7.
That poor bitch.
She's
I think these shows give them therapy for free when they're done, but like she will certainly be using it.
This is just like Cam's first season. Killer Cam got called Killer Cam because she literally was sent in every single week. So Cassidy, you've earned your stripes. Well, never mind. Sorry. Although she probably gained a lot of respect from everybody. Like she like along, you know what I mean? Like when she comes back, they'll be like, yeah, girl, we remember you were good in eliminations. The elimination is Hot Wheel. And Michelle is the one who goes in. And so it's Michelle versus Cassidy. And like Cassidy just really, she has Michelle's number. Yeah. She's watching Michelle like freaking out. And she's just like, I'm going to wait till she gasses out. Like she looks like she's about to. Yeah. And so that was a hard challenge. They had to start on opposite ends of this like wheel and then get the torch to light just their thing. That's hard.
I don't know how they think of some of these things.
Agreed.
Like this was bonkers.
Agreed. Cassidy destroys Michelle. It was another one of those where they were like, Michelle, just get 1.
Yeah. Like, don't end with 0.
Yeah, she got 1. Cassidy lit it for her. Cassidy's like, here you go, Michelle. I got you. All right, now back to me.
And I think this is so symbolic of Michelle this whole episode, maybe even the whole game. Like, it was so much action to do nothing. You know what I mean? Like, someone just winds Michelle up and she, like, spins around. And for what? Like,
every time.
For what? Yeah.
And she's like, that's right. And at the end of it, it's like, no, you didn't prove your point. I don't get it. Michelle, you will be missed. Okay. This past week's episode, very heavy on Josh's why he plays this game.
Yeah.
And then that's alarming. It's going to be for his parents. The title is for me. The money's for my parents. I really I was okay. I'm like, I hope that this is not what I think it is, which is Josh is going to be eliminated. But I hope that it's Josh actually wins the whole thing, because I feel like I want him to shut up about it.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think it's ever going to happen.
No, me neither. I think this was the closest he's ever going to get. Well, now on Instagram and stuff, he's posting. He's not using these words, but he's being very dramatic that, he's hinting that he's not coming back. Did you see, he's posting montages of him from his first season to now and say, I've grown so much during this. I wouldn't have been anything without this show, da-da-da-da-da. I need some time to think about the actions I took this season and about becoming someone I didn't want to be. So I don't know. I don't know when he's coming back, but... here's what I'm going to read that as: more damage control, because he knows when he comes back, he's going to be in trouble, if you will. Fair, yeah.
But I don't know the personal relationship between Josh and Bananas, but I was like, since when are you guys that close?
Yeah.
I don't recall them turning in, I don't know if that was Bananas ahead of this Challenge USA being let me really rope Josh in, or I just don't know. Do they both live in Florida? Is that what it is? And they all hang out? Because I know that Bananas opened up one of his boxing studios in Florida, and Tori and Fessy and Josh, they've been going. I know Josh and Tori have been going a lot.
Okay. So yeah.
So maybe they have a thing. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Chanel tells her Survivor story, and she actually... I liked the honesty here, but I also felt simultaneously bad, because she's like, I was just in the middle of the road on Survivor. The girlies on Reddit might have called me a flop, and I was like, oh my God, I think we have too.
Yeah, I said for sure we have. I the girlies on this podcast did as well. Chanel, I don't know what to tell you.
I was like, I feel that sorry, girl, but that's just kind of where she you know what, though? That's why the challenge is so great, because then she was put in elimination and she showed I can do it. So, okay. This week's challenge was burst your bubble, and you had to do the most terrifying looking thing I've ever seen. Race up a rope ladder where these two hot air balloons had a bridge across them, and then you had to walk across this thin beam. Are you afraid of heights? I can't remember.
I'm terrified of heights. My knees buckled watching this. I couldn't even imagine doing it. Can't we just go back to naked oil wrestling? Why do we have this? This was a lot.
I was so impressed with Michaela.
Yes.
Because I understood her fear of heights, but even the rope ladder was really hard, because rope ladders are hard. Rope ladders are they're so flimsy, you can't get any. Fessy climbs up that thing so fast, but Chris does real good.
Yeah.
Chris is hot again.
Yeah, he is.
Officially. He's hot again.
Yeah.
When he goes across the beam all fast and he looks in the camera, he's like, yeah. I was like, ooh, okay. Take it back. You aren't a loser anymore.
See,
I'm just a fair weather person. If you're not winning, I'm like,
Yeah, especially if it's not packaged in a way. I either need you to be the underdog or the winner. No in between.
No in betweensies.
Yeah.
No. Michaela cries, and I swear it seemed like she was waiting too long to walk across that beam.
I thought so too.
So I was like, oh, okay, she's not going to win the overall, but I'm proud of her for getting there. And so when they announced the winners, it just felt too good for story. That it was not Tori and Fessy, but Michaela and Chris.
Right.
And I was like, well, okay. I mean, I'm sure they asked to see proof. I'm sure these challengers aren't we'll believe you. I'm sure there's been many times where they've thrown fits. Let me fucking see everything. Mm-hmm. It just was wow, that really shook up the game very conveniently.
Uh-huh. Yeah, if I was a challenger, I think I would wear a Fitbit to time it myself at the same time. Let's compare notes, please.
Uh-huh. I agree. I agree with that.
How could you do this to me? Question mark.
If you are hoping to budget your food expenses this fall, get more bang for your bite with America's Best Value Meal Kit, EveryPlate. is 25% cheaper than grocery shopping. There's no hidden fees. You can count on great value week after week. Plus, you only pay for what you need because they get the pre-portioned ingredients. That is vital. Also, choose EveryPlate over takeout to save money because you can still enjoy fresh, delicious, satisfying meals, and they are 50% cheaper than your average fast casual meal. They're the easiest way to eat affordably. Put the money you save towards making some fall plans, like go on a trip. And for my busy babes, the jam-packed fall season is well underway. So you can count on EveryPlate to make mealtimes easier without compromising on quality. EveryPlate recipes include only the highest quality ingredients, including sustainably sourced seafood that meets the Monterey Bay Aquarium seafood rankings. Okay, so you know your meals will be fresh and flavorful. Also, EveryPlate is the sustainable choice. EveryPlate offsets 100% of their delivery emissions, and their meals have a 31% lower carbon footprint on average than supermarket meals of the same portion. Plus, nearly all packaging materials are curbside recyclable in most areas in the US. My dad loves the EveryPlate meals. He loves them. He feels like a chef putting them together. And they're delicious, they're nutritious. So it's been great for the whole fam. Get started with EveryPlate for just $1.49 per meal by going to everyplate.com/podcast and entering code 49SheSpeaks. One more time, go to everyplate.com/podcast and enter code 49SheSpeaks. That's up to $110 value.
I love that.
Back at the house, Fessy and them figure out it's going to be hall brawl. And
Wow.
Fessy obviously doesn't want to go against. It turns into a thing. So the nominations, Michaela promised Tori that they wouldn't vote for each other. I think, like when they showed the flashback of Tori and Michaela having that conversation, I was like, "What are you guys saying?
Yeah.
Did you get it?"
I think they didn't use those words, but they thought, maybe it was unspoken, that like, because I didn't put you up this time, when you're able to, don't put me up. You know what I mean?
It was like whoever comes back, they don't say that person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it. If we come back, if I win, I won't vote you, and if you win, okay, I get it. Because they're like the two top people that probably could win. Okay, got it. But they decide Bananas is going to get votes anyway, so they're like, we don't need to worry about voting him in. So it's between Fessy and Josh. Josh is torn between Corey and Bananas. I don't know if he was just selling it or if this was truly how he was conflicted.
Was. And then we've talked about it before. Like, they don't film confessionals day of. You know what I mean? Like on Big Brother, they do it and then they're called in immediately to talk about it. They film this at least a few weeks after it's recorded, whatever. So he was still crying in confessionals about all of this. Josh is a very emotional man, but
yes, he's taken it to another level this season.
He really is.
He has taken it to a whole other place. He has like a full-on cry meltdown on the stairs in the secret vote. He has to sit down and cry on the stairs.
It's nuts. And people were pointing out, and I know this isn't the same thing, but people were pointing out online that he said, I'm playing the game for my family this season. The money would go to my family, whatever. He already won Big Brother. He won $750,000. So why didn't your family see that money if it's so important?
What if like he didn't give his family that money? So now he's like, I'm so fucked, you guys. You have no idea. My mom wants to kill me, so I gotta win this money, guys. I didn't realize he won Big Brother.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's interesting. That makes me laugh. Because his social game is that good, which is crazy because he's so chaotic.
Yeah.
But like, somehow it works, but he just isn't that good as a challenger.
I know. And it was kind of the same thing on Big Brother, too. He linked up with someone that was good. So that person, dragged him to the end, basically. And then Josh knew when to turn on that person to get votes towards him.
I would say that's fucked up, but that's literally how you play Big Brother. And then now that I'm thinking about it, that if he did that on Big Brother, that's absolutely who he is. So why is he acting like I'm someone I don't want to be?
I don't know. I wonder if, because like Big Brother, he met those people in the game and he was like, I'm playing a game, meeting these people. I'm playing a game with these people. But now he has relationships outside of the house with people that he probably looks up to, because Bananas has been on 21 seasons. So I'm sure Josh watched before and like met him as a fan and all that stuff. So now he feels like he'll be, you know, almost like on Housewives, like if you turn against Kyle Richard, if you turn against Teresa, you won't be on anymore. I wonder if he feels the same about this. Like, I fucked up.
Okay, I think that's good. Also, though, I don't think he realizes like going against Bananas is great for TV.
Right.
Like the producers love that.
Yeah. If anything, it brought you both back for another season.
Exactly. They need to see the rivalry. They need to see that play out. Yeah. Josh is saying things like, this game has turned me into someone that I don't want to be. I love when he just tells Bananas, though. He's like, he goes in crying and he's like, not saying anything. Bananas is like, what happened? What'd you do? And he's like, I'm sorry, man. I had to vote for you. Bananas is such a dick, though. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? When you turn on Bananas, he's such a baby.
He is, but I don't blame him.
Yeah, he's such a. I mean, that's probably how you should be playing it, so that if people do vote for you, they're like, I don't want to deal with it. Like that's probably a good strategy. Banana comes in because now Josh is crying to Tori, and Tori is like comforting him, and he's like, enough, okay, that's enough, Josh. And Tori hugs him, and she's like, I'm sorry. And Banana goes, sorry? What are you sorry for him? And she's like, well, I voted for him. And he's like, why? What is wrong with the two of you? The asshole comes out. This is very Kenny days, like, familiar. Like, when Kenny and Evan and Bananas that thought they, like, ran the challenge, this is what they would do. Like, they just hated when people didn't follow their plan. Hated it. And they became little brats about it.
I was going to say, like, are we working together or are we not? And I know at some point we can't anymore, but then just like say that. But I think the acting like we feel bad about doing it and then still doing it, like you're showing that we're not working together anymore, which is fine. And I think that's where Bananas is. Like if we're not working together and we're on, I think like if we're on our own now, just say it. But to like act on your own and then say, I'm so sorry, then you're just shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And before we move on, I do want to talk about when Fessy and when Josh was trying to decide what to do before he voted Bananas, he was talking to Fessy, and Fessy was like, it's either you fuck me or you don't. And I knew what he meant, but I rewound it 6 times. I'm like, you're right, Josh. You either fuck him or you don't. Because then also, I think I was still horny from that oil wrestling episode 2 episodes ago. But also in the beginning of the episode, when it was like talking about Fessy and Josh's friendship and how important it was, Fessy says, this is the best Josh has ever looked. Like, nobody asked you that. Why did you say that?
So now Johnny's like, oh, they are fucking.
Yeah, I wrote fan fiction.
Fan fiction. They are totally doing it now. I'm into that. I like the visuals.
I would certainly
watch. Visuals. I get.
Yeah.
Bananas does the thing that like scares every challenger. Bananas says to Josh, from here on out, your word is worth fuck all. And that's probably why Josh is doing all this damage control.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh my God, it's true. Everyone says that. Because in like the next challenge, it's like, I remember what you did. No one believes you. And Bananas is so influential on these shows. So
yeah, because you're not just turning against that person. You're showing what kind of player you are to seasons in the future as well. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. That's why as much as Amanda drives me crazy, like she's pretty bold for being like, that's right, bitches. That's I am.
Uh-huh.
Did she get close to winning one year too?
I believe so.
There was a season she got pretty close, which was impressive considering like almost everyone hates her. It was the one with it. Is that where she met? Is that where she met the British guy and they started like hooking up? Because that was.
Was that War of the Worlds 2? Was she in that?
Maybe.
I believe
Maybe. Yeah, she got close one season, which is impressive considering that like everyone kind of is against her. Okay, the Hopper, Tori gets 2, Desi gets 1, Chanel 5, Corey gets 1, Josh gets 2, and Bananas gets 5. Now, when they called Josh, when Josh is the one that's called, Bananas' confessional is so dramatic. The friend who betrayed me is the one that's now going to have to face his best friend. Karma just bit him in the ass. This is the greatest case of poetic justice I think I've ever seen in my life.
I thought I switched channels and went to a soap opera by accident. Like, it was very heavy.
Bananas. Didn't you take all the money from Sarah? Like, you deserve all the karma forever and ever, bro.
Right.
Like, forever. Like, it's endless, okay?
And, like, I know we're going to talk about it in a little bit, but what you did was so bad, you're on a show called House of Villains.
Because of it.
Yeah. That is the segment they showed to describe who you are as a person.
So own that.
Yeah.
So I was, though, when Josh's name got called, I was like, my mouth was covered. I was like, I did that. I was definitely affected like that. Because it was like the layers. I was like, and Bessie's his friend, and he tried not to go in. Oh, it was a lot.
Now, because of that gay sex storyline in the beginning of the episode, I did think that this was going to be the pairing we got.
The gay sex storyline, which there wasn't at all, but in Johnny's mind, there was.
You have to see the signs.
If you look hard enough.
Yeah, it's anywhere.
It's there, okay? Just use your imagination.
This is totally on a tangent now, so feel free to fully edit it out. I saw on Twitter, someone said they think that people that say being gay is a choice are bisexual. Because they're, you know what I mean? Like, if my dad, for instance, if my dad was like, Don, being gay is a choice, you don't need to be gay, that means he is secretly bisexual because to him it's a choice and he's choosing to be with a woman. So if he thinks you can choose to be with a man, that means he's choosing not to.
Oh, is that like a way you could come back at them when they say it's a choice? You could be like, oh, just like how you're bisexual and choosing to be with a woman, but you could also be with a man if you wanted.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say from now on.
I think that's a good comeback.
My brain connected this because they're not necessarily showing us that this is a gay sex storyline, but they're choosing to be with women, but I think they could be together. Anyway, I'll write fan fiction.
Come back next week. Come back next week with Donnie. Donnie has written a graphic novel.
Oh, yeah.
About the story of Josh and Bessie. Maybe throw Bananas in there for funsies.
Yeah, and Corey too. Why not?
And Corey, yeah. So, of course, the elimination is Hall Brawl. This time, there are exactly. I was like, yeah, guys, what the fuck was this? This isn't Hall Brawl.
No.
They give them shields for the initial impact, which I'm like, that must have been, like, they must have looked back at footage and been like, we might kill people.
Yeah.
Because people have broken limbs, like, fingers have been twisted in half and stuff. So possibly they're like, we kind of can't do that. This is CBS, not MTV anymore. Like, we got to be careful.
And a lot of people think it was because Bananas had a possibility of being in there. So they think like Bananas versus Fessy would be insane. Like, that is unfair. Bananas will be missing teeth by the end. So they were like, what can we do to protect this old man in our cast versus Fessy? So they did this and then added that puzzle and all of that.
I didn't like that. That part because the whole point of Hall Brawl, like, it defeats the purpose of the Hall Brawl.
Right. The Hall Brawl, and I know, like, you're just going to do what you're told to do with the shields, whatever, but, like, you could have literally just walked and said, oh, excuse me, and kept walking to get to your puzzle. That's it.
There was no point of the impact like that and then the fighting.
Yeah.
Because you'll both just get up and eventually get to your puzzle.
Right.
Eventually, you're like, the whole point is that you're struggling just to ring the bell thing.
It made no sense.
That was a bad decision.
Yeah.
It did not work. And then also the puzzle was dumb because you could literally just keep going back and be like 4,
Yeah.
6, 8, 7, like that's it. You
Uh-huh.
could have just like stepped out of the box, go back. Which
Yeah,
is what
after
Fessy did.
after Fessy got it wrong the first time, he didn't even look at the puzzle again. He was just saying different numbers.
And then eventually he got it right. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah. He didn't figure it out. He just was like, it's going to be somewhere in that vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
And they should have put some rules on that. Like, you cannot just keep guessing numbers or something. Like, they didn't think this one through. This was like a last minute change up.
I agree.
And actually now maybe it was because then Bananas might have gone in and they're like, well, if it's a puzzle, maybe it's more like an equalizer or something.
Yeah. I don't know what.
Bananas isn't even good at puzzles though, which is so ironic.
Yeah.
When he was on with Nani, they gave up on a puzzle.
Yeah.
Like they were like, we literally don't know, guys. So he's not good at it. But then Chanel goes with Cassidy. Poor thing, poor thing, and it could have been a Cassidy win, but Chanel did get the puzzle faster. Like the hall brawl aspect is just such a waste of their energy. Like that was so stupid.
Yeah.
Like you said, they could have been like, I'm just gonna go to the puzzle and like walk past. Like, excuse me.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
Bad move, guys. Real bad move.
Especially because the hall brawl is one of the most like iconic challenges. So why would you water it down and add stuff to it? It's so dumb. The
whole point is they were rushing to hit the bell. That's the best part. And then you have to like go back and look at the footage because it's usually so close. Well, you guys fucked up. You fucked up big time. So Chanel and Fessy, they win. Poor Cassidy. She did all those eliminations. And then the very last one before the final. Fuck you guys, man. But Chanel needed it too. So I was kind of like, okay, Chanel, you needed the win.
Yeah.
For your own like reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I'm excited. I don't know why I'm excited to know, but it will be a 2-day challenge or final. Just because at this point they have to be. Like, if you don't get a 2-day final, like, it doesn't count. You don't count as a winner. That's why when they try to say that Victoria from back in the day, they're like, she's the only 3-time champ or whatever. I'm like, you guys, she won before it was like what it is today.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing.
Mm-mm. She had to like eat a cockroach and jog down the block. That was
it was
the
like
final,
a team thing too. I think they all like had to get as a team. So I'm like, no, just stop saying that.
Yeah.
Because then when she does come back to play, you're like, that's her? I'm like, that's her. No one wants her on their team. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, it was bad.
Shut up. That is so stupid.
Support for today's episode comes from Jenny Kane, and that is some perfect timing for me because it's fall. I need to update the wardrobe. Jenny Kane is such a California brand. Their clothes are minimalist and effortless and like refined. You know what I mean? You get the luxurious cashmere sweaters, iconic accessories, and then just elevated versions of everyday basics. Not to mention they have the most incredible home essentials too. Jenny Kane is here to help you live your best season yet. And for a limited time, our listeners get 15% off their first order. Go to jennykane.com and use the code SHESPEAKS to get 15% off. I'm so excited it's sweater season because I get to wear the sweater that I've had of Jenny Kane's. And every time I wear it, people are like, where'd you get that? I'm like, oh, it's Jenny Kane. You can just tell the quality is there. The lines are perfect. It's unmatched in any season, but especially this one. The sweaters are where it's at for Jenny Kane. I'm obsessed with the Flynn cashmere sweater. Perfect everyday V-neck. And the cashmere Francis polo is such a cool vintage inspired staple. They're back in new shades too. And you can bet I'm adding both to my cart using my code. Jenny Kane is like known for their super luxe yet lightweight sweaters. And trust us, they do cashmere literally better than anyone. The Cashmere Fisherman and the Cashmere Cocoon are bestsellers in every season, but I'm so excited for fall sweater season because I get to wear them. Everything in their collection is just designed so intentionally. You can style pieces together without like thinking about it. I love to pair a Jenny Kane sweater with everything from classic denim to a simple slip dress for a look that's just like effortless, you know, like, oh, this is just me. I just dress like this. I'm just fabulous. And again, guys, they're home home essentials are to die for. Timeless furniture pieces, cozy throws, perfectly curated decor, and the most incredible candles. I keep one in every room. Plus, they have an incredible rewards program where you can earn up to 10% back with every purchase, and joining is completely free. Find your forever pieces at jennykane.com. Our listeners get 15% off your first order when you use code at checkout. That's a 15% off your first order. JENNIKAYNE.com, promo code SHESPEAKS. Let getting dressed be one less thing to worry about.
What is this, honey?
BravoCon is coming up, and I cannot risk a breakout because a couple months ago, my skin was breaking out constantly by my jawline, by my chin. I'm so insecure when my skin is broken out. I feel like everyone's staring at it. But along came Apostrophe, the sponsor of this episode. Apostrophe is an online platform that connects you with an expert dermatology team to get customized acne treatment for your unique skin. Through Apostrophe, you can get access to oral and topical medications that use clinically proven ingredients to help clear acne. You fill out an online consultation about your skin goals and your medical history, and then you snap a few selfies, and a dermatology provider will create a customized treatment plan. Apostrophe offers access to prescription treatments for all types of acne, for hormonal acne, to facial acne, and even back, chest, and butt acne. I like that through Apostrophe, you have access to an expert derm team, and they tailor the treatment plan, because not all acne medications work on my skin. You fill out a whole bunch of questions like, is your skin really sensitive? Yes. My skin will get really dry and flaky. So it's not a one size fits all for skin, and it's simple to sign up for your first visit. There's no in-person appointment either, or a trip to the pharmacy, everything at home. Love that. We have a special deal for our audience. Get your first visit for only $5 at apostrophe.com/SheSpeaks when you use our code SheSpeaks. That's a savings of $15. This code is only available to our listeners. To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/SheSpeaks and click Get Started. Then use our code SheSpeaks to sign up, and you'll get your first visit for only $5. Thank you, Apostrophe, for sponsoring this episode.
Enough!
Okay, House of Villains time.
All right, let me switch notes.
Okay, I'm very excited.
It was so good.
It was so good. I kind of wish they'd given us a super episode, like a longer one, so we could see like the whole thing.
Yeah, because if you didn't watch, guys, the episode ends with nominations, and we don't know who goes home or anything yet. So I don't know.
I wish we had seen it all.
Let's
see how the whole thing plays out.
Let's give us one full
know.
round, and then from then on, we can edit episodes however we need to. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to go through who we are working with cast-wise, and I want you to tell me how excited you are.
Okay.
So Johnny Fairplay, who calls himself the greatest reality TV bad guy of all time. He's famous for the dead grandma lie.
Mm-hmm.
How excited are you for Johnny Fairplay?
Like a 7. That was, I think that was a really dicky, villainy thing to do in his original season of Survivor. But I think that reality TV has come such a long way since then that we've seen bigger and badder.
100%. I'm a 2.
Oh, wow.
Well, because I'm not a Survivor girly.
Okay.
So I don't have an attachment to the game at all. And
got it.
He feels like he hasn't evolved his persona at all.
Okay. Yeah.
Omarosa feels like she's perfected
upgraded.
it.
Yes, I agree.
Omarosa. Can't wait to get to her. I don't even need to ask. Tiffany Pollard, 20.
10.
20. I love that they showed the best flashback. Beyonce, you really look like Luther Vandross. It's iconic.
It is.
And then Johnny says hi. What's up, New York? You look beautiful. I know I do. Tiffany's interview. He knows New York. I'm not surprised by that.
Uh-huh. And that's what I liked is seeing, for the most part, you could see who knows each other, not even like in a real way outside the house, but just like as a TV icon, like New York knew Bananas, Bananas knew New York.
I know I loved that part. I was like, ooh, I don't know why it's sexy. It's like
It
game,
is.
respect, game. Like you all are aware of that. When Johnny started to come in, I was like, it's Johnny's package. I was so excited. Oh my God, I need to stop. But the way he like looks at New York's nails, he's like, I love your nails. I almost did the same thing. I'm like, okay. He's so fucking charming.
He is.
Guys, Johnny Bananas responded to a comment. He posted about the premiere, and I tagged Donnie and said, this makes me tingly. And then Bananas replied, you and me both.
Mm.
Ugh, so
You're
we're
practically
dating.
married, yeah.
We're in love. It's okay. New York asked him, is it Big Bananas or Big Banana or Bananas? And he's like, well, no one's ever. When he said he's done 21 seasons of the challenge, as much as I know that, it's wild, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus, that's a lot.
I know.
How excited are we for Johnny Bananas?
Like a 9.
Yeah, 9, same. 10 is reserved for Tiffany Pollard.
2 people and 2 people
Yeah,
only.
exactly. And 2 people only. No one else can top it.
Exactly.
I'll tell you who I'm really not excited about, who I can't wait to see voted off, is Corinne. Is that her name from
Yeah.
The Bachelor? I was like, oh, who?
New York thought her name was Carmel.
She's like, your name isn't Carmel, right?
Oh my God.
She should have said yes.
Yeah, it's better than Corinne.
She should have.
No
gone
offense to
with
any
that.
Corinnes listening.
Just for the
I'm
sake
a
of
1
this show.
with Corinne. Yeah.
I'm a 1. Right
Yeah,
there
a
with
1.
you. 1, honey. Bobby Lights. He loves New York. I respect that. I respect that he's like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with you. And I'm like, okay, you win.
Yeah. I don't know. I know of Bobby Lights. Like, there's 3 people I don't know at all. Bobby Lights I've seen around. So for that, I'll give him a 6.
I'll give him a 7, actually.
Oh, okay.
Just because I have heard of him, and like immediately the way he walked in the house, I was like, I love him.
Yeah.
I love him. Yeah. He says to Bananas, I'm familiar with you. And then Bananas goes, I'm just misunderstood. And Bobby's so right. He's like, I think we're all about to come in here saying that.
Yeah.
That's so true. Because I'm like thinking, Jax always has said that about himself. Jax is always like, I'm misunderstood. So Shake, right? From Love is Blind. I don't watch that show.
Me neither. So a 1 for me as well.
1 for me. And he doesn't seem like he's too excited to be there. And also the clips that they showed of the reason why he's a villain, I was like, oh, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, and that is, I feel like there's 2 different kinds of villains here. Like, there are piece of shit people like him and the girl from 90 Day Fiancé or whatever that are just mean to people. But then there are people that like will trick you into selling your house and like evicting your family and stuff. And, you know, I'm a strategy god, but I feel like if I was on the show, keep those like mean people around because they're nobody. Like, they're just mean. And get rid of the Omarosas, get rid of the Bananas, get rid of the Johnny Fairplays.
From the looks of the preview they showed at the very end, like it looks like Omarosa is about to be in every single one of those like top 3 winner things. Like every single one they showed, I'm like Omarosa again, Omarosa again, Omarosa again. So that bitch knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Tanisha from Bad Girls Club comes in.
A 9.
I give her an 8. I'm an 8 on the excited scale for sure. The way her and Bobby greet each other, they were like,
so fun.
So excited.
I will say, with age, or I don't know if she has kids now, whatever, it does seem like she toned down a lot, whereas nobody else seems to have.
So, and also, like, that makes sense because on Bad Girls Club, you have to tone down from that or you'll be in prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and like, if you have a kid, you got to kind of, So, fair. Hopefully this brings out more of that, though. Jax, he was super disappointing, in my opinion. Like, I don't think he understood what he was signing up for. I think he thought he was just going to go chill in a house.
He said that when they were around the pool. He was like, on my show, we just hang out.
Yeah, we just hang out.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't like this voting off stuff. He's not smart enough to strategize. So he's
No.
like, whoa,
Yeah.
I got to think about stuff. Like, how much do I get paid if I leave now?
Right.
Like, I don't care.
I'll give him a
Corinne,
5. Oh, go ahead.
Corinne whispers to Tiffany, we can't trust him. I was
Yeah.
like, good.
Uh-huh.
You'll give him a 5? Same. I'll give him a 5 as well.
Just because it's someone, there's like 3 people I don't even know at all. So because I at least know Jax, let's keep him around for a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of someone I don't know, Anfisa,
I have
90
no
Day
idea.
Fiance.
Yeah.
Blech.
Yeah, a 1.
1. I'm so glad we're on the same page with that part. Johnny flirts with Bobby. And Bobby goes, oh, so my goal was not to come here and turn straight men gay. And Johnny goes, too late. A true
I'll have to
ally.
write it in the fan fiction. Yeah.
add Bobby in there. I thought Bobby and Fairplay rooming together was such an interesting choice. It's like, really, you two? I would have put like Bananas and Fairplay in there, but okay.
Yeah.
All right. Last
cute.
to arrive, Omarosa. They all run.
And hide. They hide.
Amazing. Shake greets her and she corrects right away. He goes, Omarosa. She goes, it's Omarosa with an O. She was like, she's so good.
She is. She was a bitch right off the bat. And she then said in a confessional that you need to be right off the bat because it throws people off and they don't know how to act anymore. She's just brilliant.
God, it's like, you guys, this is going to be hard with her.
Yeah.
Fairplay and Omarosa, I love. She goes, we started this whole reality TV villain thing. I go, respect.
Yeah.
You did, actually. Honestly, like, you guys are like the origin of it.
Truly. And then later, she like does the same thing to New York. She like gives her props.
Yep.
And says this is the first Black woman to have a dating show.
She knew everybody.
Yeah.
Except for Corinne, I guess.
Yeah.
Because Corinne, I was pissed at Corinne too. She's like, what's your name? I'm like, bitch, don't do that.
No.
If you don't know who Omarosa is, you should definitely not be on the show.
Exactly.
And Omarosa goes, Google me. And Bobby goes, oh my God, there's drinks over there. I gotta go get those drinks. Oh my God. He was all scared. Omarosa just keeps talking to Shake. She's like, okay, anyway, have you figured out where? And Corinne's like, excuse me, ma'am? Excuse me? And Shake is so uncomfortable because she's not phased. She's like, she goes, anyway, but I want to talk business. Bitch, what business though? You just walked in the door.
Right.
What business?
You don't even know the rules of the game yet.
They haven't done anything yet. So like, no, you don't. You're just being psychotic.
Yeah.
Corinne walks up. She's so dramatic. I call that trying way too hard. Have a good day, bitch. Everyone is so scared. Jax is scared. Jax is like, I'm kind of used to all the men sort of dominating the women and like being assholes to them and everyone making fun of the women. So like, I don't really know how we're going to do this. Fairplay and Omarosa, they offer a deal with Shake. Why did they do that so fast?
I have no idea. But Shake, New York, as soon as Shake came in, Shake said to Corinne, she's like, do not trust him. He's the male version of me. Do not trust him. So I don't know. And again, I've never watched his shows. I don't watch any of those Netflix dating shows. But I wonder if he does seem like a strong competitor.
Okay.
Or
was it a test?
Wonder if maybe a test or like because Omarosa and Fairplay are like so well known in the old reality TV people, I wonder if like they were like, we need a tie to the younger, like the new crowd. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Maybe?
It was like so immediate.
Yeah.
And by him saying, let me think about it, I was like, that wasn't the move. You could have just pretended you were gonna like just pretend.
And then even if you make new friends later on, you can say, well, Omarosa and Fairplay are playing together. They asked me to be in it. Yeah. Yes.
Don't say like clearly this is his first voting off type of show because that was like if someone like that offers you that, you should say, amazing. I'd be honored.
Yeah.
Duh.
Right.
Idiot. Bananas knows he calls her a legend. And she right away, she's like, oh yeah, you were the one. You took all of the money from. They won together. They won the challenge together. And he took all of the money. Bananas just gets right off that topic. He's like, anyway.
Because what do you say to that?
What do you say to that? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's still like the biggest prick thing you could have done. Like you ruined her life, basically.
Yeah.
Like you let her do the entire final for no money. It's so bad.
So fucked up.
Corinne is crying. She is upstairs crying. And Tiffany, for some reason, she's like, I want to stand up for you. You are my roommate. So Tiffany, she's already like, you've just met her. You're just rooming together.
Yeah.
But she also like knows about Omarosa. I'm so afraid to get it wrong. Omarosa. The scene is so iconic when Tiffany goes into Omarosa's room. Right away, she throws Tiffany off because she gives her praise as the first Black woman to have a dating show. And she's like, mm-hmm. Anyway, Tiffany goes, Corinne, though? Omarosa goes, who is that? Tiffany goes, she's my roommate. Omarosa goes, what are you, bonding with her? Tiffany can't even help it. She's like, okay, listen. Listen. And Omarosa knows, though. She goes, people weaponize tears. So I'm not on. And I'm like, wait, she's not wrong.
No.
And how did she come up with that line? The first to cry is the first to fry. You know the rules of reality TV.
I don't know. I don't know if she's been saying it for years. I don't know if production told her to say it. I don't know if she knew it would come up eventually, but it was juicy.
Oh my God, when Bobby does the reenactment with the puppets of like, he has like the Corinne one. He's like, she's like, have a good day, bitch. And like,
why do they even have those puppets?
That's what I was wondering. Is that going to play in later? Like,
I don't know.
Are they going to use the puppets for a thing? I don't know. Okay, we're introduced to Eva, the evil voice audio.
How
and
strange.
she says to go outside. Yeah. It's Joel McHale, and Bobby is so sure. He's like, it's Carson Daly. It's Carson Daly. He's so excited that it is Carson Daly, though. Like, he's like, oh, wait, you're not? Oh, sorry. So convinced. So convinced.
Oh, my God.
When you see who Carson Daly looks like next to Joel McHale, they really don't look like each other.
Not at all. And even when they were younger, Joel McHale has always looked better than Carson Daly.
Carson Daly. Because Carson Daly he like lost a bunch of weight, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's right. Because he was like the curvy one on MTV. And then he like came back and then he like suddenly lost a bunch of weight. That was like a thing. And
then when they're all going out to meet Joel, Jax hugs him and Joel's like, no, I don't think we're allowed to touch. Jax says, that's okay. No, it's not. I just told you it's not.
He also says, I'm just glad you're not Nick Lachey. I like that they don't have a clue, like, how they're supposed to stand. Like, Joel's like, do they stand there? What's the blocking on this? Right. And they're like, we actually haven't really thought that through. And then it becomes, like, so impossible for them to get the take. It's like a jet flies over, take 10, take 38. Omarosa's like, honey, I'm going inside. It is cold. And Joel's like, yeah, okay, like, there's no. And then, did they do then an entirely different setup, like a take 2 at night? Was that what they did?
Uh-huh.
That's hysterical. They're like, okay, we got to do this, guys. We have to get the intro conversation. Anywho, you'll get it. Okay, whoever wins is the super villain of the week. And then they select 2 people to go on the like luxury trip or prize or whatever. And then there's 3 people that go on the hit list. Those 3 people compete. The winner of that doesn't get voted off, but then the other remaining 2, it's between them to get voted off.
Yeah.
It's a little complicated.
So it's just the rules of Big Brother, really.
Oh. Do 3 people go, then they all compete?
The only difference is instead of 3 people to compete, only 2 get nominated, but then them and the head of household play for veto.
That's right.
So it's basically the same thing, yeah.
Oh, that's so right. Good point. When they try to run through the villain's banner, like when they get to the the challenge thing, Bobby gets tangled in it. It doesn't break. I rewound that so many times.
It's so funny.
Because he literally gets like over in the corner. He's like, where am I? Then he just gets back up. Oh my God. He was visually really funny to watch during this balls out challenge.
Was.
Joel is good at this like intro thing. Like he's very different than TJ. Like,
Oh yeah.
TJ's dialed it in. He's like done this so many years. Joel like is kind of still playing with it, and he sort of mocks it, which I enjoy thoroughly.
Yeah.
So the only rule is last ball remaining in the arena wins, but like you don't have to be with your ball.
Right.
Omarosa, she just sits back and does nothing while they take each other out. I could not believe that worked.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, people didn't even target her until Jax knocked her out or whatever.
Yeah. Bobby, quote, sacrifices his ball to help the others. He's like, chess, not checkers. I'm like, okay, think. Although it does work because it wins Omarosa over.
Yeah.
She sees how hard he worked. Bananas does a sneak attack, though, on Tiffany's ball. And then he goes, I thought you were Bobby. I was like,
She was not thrilled with that.
Don't
No.
do that. Don't do that.
Oh, God.
Shake targets Jax's ball, and Jax's interview, he goes, this requires strategery, and I fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jax, you're fucked. I wouldn't be surprised if you're the first one voted off.
Me neither.
Yeah. Jax he wants this game to end. Like, he's like, we have to play a game to completion. So he just starts pushing everyone's balls out because he's like, I just want us to be over. I want to go back. I want to lay down. I want to fucking lay down. So then, of course, Bananas and Omarosa, they're the last two. She promises he's safe. And boy, does she do a damn good job freaking him out. Freaking me out, too.
So good. I know.
The next day, back at the house, Jackson and Tiffany talk. And Jax says, I made one mistake on my show. I'm like, okay, one. But then Tiffany goes, but what could that be? You seem so flawless. I love her. Because like, she doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
But does she? That's what I love about her so much.
Yeah.
Because I'm never 100% sure she is kidding when she does such funny things like that.
Yeah. New York is quick to say something either way. Like, quick to say something nice or quick to say something so vile and mean to you. But because she's so quick with it, I don't know if she means either one, really. Like, if she tells you you're a fat cunt with no taste in clothes, does she mean it? Or were those just the first words that came out of her mouth?
Oh my God, her Big Brother UK performance is
so good.
Iconic.
It is brilliant.
I just want to watch the whole thing. I can't find it. I even asked you, I'm like, how do we get it? Where do we find it? It's really upsetting. Like, I can't even buy it. I would pay for it.
Me too.
I would pay $25 whole at the most. That's
I would also pay $25, so then we can put it in together $50, and then just share login information.
How do we do it, guys? Because I just need to see it, and I love that the contestants hated her. Yeah. Everyone else was like, "Get her off the show," but the audience is like, "No, you guys don't understand. You haven't seen her confessionals. They're so good." They're so fucking iconic. Jax sleeps on the couch. Is that what he did? Because he snores?
Yeah.
Oh, God. He hates this. He fucking hates this. He did not think this through. He's like, I needed a paycheck so bad. The next morning, Omarosa and them talk about how Jax was like so intense in the battle. They're like, oh my God. Tanisha goes, he came at me like I owed him money in the streets. Jax comes over and they tease him for playing all extra hard. And Jax goes, I didn't do too well because this guy got me out in 2 seconds. Omarosa spots an opportunity so easily. She goes, are you saying Shake is the biggest competitor?
So smart.
How does she do that?
I don't know.
And Jax goes, no, it just caught me off guard. And then so Omarosa goes, so who do you think is the biggest competitor? She's too good.
She is. She needs to go.
She's got to go. You're right.
Yeah.
Like, you all need to just get together, get her out.
Yeah.
Please also don't for TV's sake, but like, guys, she's... Yeah. But then Shake and Jax say Bobby, which was also a brilliant response. I'm like, yes, that's how you should respond. 100%. Eva calls them around the bar, and the luxury reward is some pampering. When Tanisha and Bobby get picked, Tiffany looks pissed. I don't know if you caught that, but she's like, okay. Should have been me.
Well, because Omarosa like hyped her up and said, "You're the first Black woman with a reality show." Blah blah blah. We're in this together. All this stuff, and then because I thought she was going to pick New York as well.
Mm-hmm. I kind of think she should have.
Yeah.
It was an interesting move not to, because Tanisha, she tries to say that Tanisha and Bobby both like gossip and know everything. I'm like, no, New York is going to be more that type of person for you.
I wonder if she thinks Tanisha and Bobby are starstruck by her presence, kind of, whereas New York sees her as an equal. So, like, if I met New York, I would tell her anything she wanted to know. If I met Omarosa, I would tell her anything she wanted to know.
Good point.
But if I meet, like, Johnny Fairplay, I'm like, oh, we're equal. I'm going to keep my cards to my chest because you're just whatever.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good point. That's a very, very good point. Corinne starts spiraling after Bobby tells her, like, Bobby's like, yeah, Omarosa hates you. And Corinne's logic in her interview, she's like, Omarosa wants me out because she knows Bachelor Nation and she knows that I'm going to be the star, not her. I'm like, get her out.
I've never heard of this woman a day in my life.
Like,
Corinne? Yeah.
Honey, that was stupid to say.
Yeah.
Like, no, Omarosa is literally like a brand.
True. Yeah.
Like, she's gone against Bethany over it, so...
I was just going to say, no matter who your favorite is in this world, Omarosa has gone against them. Like, Omarosa has gone against people from multiple franchises.
So, honey, I don't...
Yeah.
You're just so young. You don't get it. And, like, what was your big thing that you kissed the Bachelor first?
Right.
Ooh, a lot of people do that. Like... Tiffany, though, she's like, if you go home, I'm going home. You are my roommate. Okay, she's so silly.
And that's what I mean. She just says things. She just says whatever words, they don't even have to form a sentence. Whatever words come out of her mouth, she just sells it.
She does. That's what it is. She sells it. Yeah. And like, I don't know if she even believes it, but in that moment, I think she does. Like in that moment, she 100%, that's what makes her so amazing on television. God, I love her. Do you watch College Hill?
No.
Okay, I cannot stress enough, you guys, watch the season 2 of College Hill with Tiffany. I cannot stress enough how good it is. Tiffany, I cannot. I watched it twice through.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because I watched in the background, and so I was like, I missed way too much of this, so I had to watch it again in the background to catch like the other parts that I didn't miss. Okay, so good. She's a queen on every level.
Okay, I'll watch.
There's a part, okay, I'm going to kind of ruin one part. There's an assignment where they have to present something to a class, and for some reason, Tiffany decides that she's going to sing a song a cappella, and then her partner's going to do like an interpretive dance. She's so dead serious, but everyone's like trying not to laugh. Like everyone is like, this can't be serious. But she is selling it. She is into it. And it's like, this is why Tiffany is the HBIC. It's so good. So highly recommend if you need another Tiffany watch. Okay, so Omarosa tells Tanisha and Bobby her story. Now, I forgot about this. I forgot that her dad was murdered when she was 7, and her mom was in the projects with 4 kids. So, thank you for the reminder. Okay?
Yeah.
And she talks about, she's like, you know, when I saw myself on camera, like the first time, I was like, oof, that's a lot. So I reassessed and made adjustments. And for anyone who's like, well, she's still pretty savage, go back and watch her like YouTube early Omarosa, and it's kind of like too much. Like it's a lot.
It is.
Bobby's cute. He's like, my goal is to buy my mom a house. And I'm like, I don't think you're gonna win, but that's really cute. I unfortunately think Omarosa is gonna win. It'll be between Omarosa or Tiffany.
I hope so. I'm afraid people will get big players out first, and we'll end up with like Anfisa and Shake, and I would be livid.
Livid. The rest of them are hanging by the pool, and Bananas makes one of his classic fucked up jokes. Can someone go in and get me a white Russian? And he's referring to, and everyone's like, you can't say that.
Right.
And he's like, I meant, because like we make me a drink. We have the Kahlua and the bananas. Gotta stop it.
I hate when I don't mind problematic things. I don't. I laugh at them often. But when he, like, I don't even know how to describe it, like, goes against it after he said it. Like, just laugh and move on to the next thing. When he was like, no, I meant, what do you guys mean? I meant a drink. What do you guys' heads are in the gutter? Like, just, now you're making it, like, not even worse, but awkward.
Just say nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It devalues himself.
I agree.
Jax doesn't think he's mentally tough enough to be there, but I'm mentally, physically enough to be here.
Mentally, physically.
Yeah, that is classic Jax. Jax cannot say a phrase correctly to save his life, literally. Yeah. I will say that's kind of why Jax, I like Jax better as the villain on VPR than like Sandoval. Not like I'm saying Sandoval is smart, but Jax is so dumb that it's like, it's easier. You can spot him a mile away because he's so dumb.
Right. Now, why did I think he was sober? Was he for a little bit?
No.
No, I just made that up. Okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, definitely not.
Because they're like, when he first got in, they're like, what do you want to drink? Champagne, whatever? He's like, I'll drink anything with alcohol in it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
that
was wrong
sounds
about that.
Right. Yeah. I don't know where you would have even thought that, but I'm wondering, like, was there a point in time? Maybe because he really sold his, like, reformed bullshit that you're, like, assuming maybe he, like, changed hand in hand. Everything. Yeah. He definitely doesn't party like he used to, which is when he was, like, coked out in every single scene.
Right.
His eyes were, like, bugging out of his head. And then he's like, I have a deviated septum. I'm like, okay, buddy. Jax is talking about how the shows he does. I do shows, guys. I do like shows, not like voted off. I'm like, okay, they're all shows. You're just doing a different type of show. What did you think this was? Did your agent not properly prep you? Did your agent not say, Jax, though, it's going to be a voting off situation? I don't blame it. Maybe he thought like House of Villains, just a bunch of villains hanging out in the house. Let's see what happens.
Like the real world or surreal life, actually, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Very similar to that, which is probably why they had to make it a voting off thing because
it's
they're
just
like,
it's
thing. Just the surreal life. That's a good point, Donnie. They're like, okay, we have to differentiate it. Shake agrees. He's like, yeah, this is the last vote show I do for sure. Okay. Omarosa's like, I swear I thought she was going to vote Bananas. The way she's like, I did give Bananas my word.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh my God, she's even doing it for the audience. Like she's playing the long con even on us, the audience. Like not even in her confessionals did she give a sound bite like, no, I'm not going to really vote him, but I want to scare him. She let all of us freak out.
Yes. Did you see the interview Bananas did about the show? He said that on the challenge, he's like, I've been on it so long that I know how to self-produce and I know how to make sound bites and I know how to, like create tension and create drama and all this. And he said, but it was so relaxing and refreshing, almost like a vacation to be on House of Villains where 8 other people know how to do that as well. So he was like, I didn't always have to be at number 1 because he was like, Omarosa or Tiffany, I knew I was in good hands. I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
Why is that like the sweetest?
I know. I just said it again. I read it a couple days ago, but I said it now and got the chill.
Me too. My hair stood up and I was like, I moved.
I know.
Because it's like, respecting the women is what I like to hear. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that wow. See, Bananas is a lot of things. But he's also kind of nice sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. That really, like, my face hurts from smiling about
I know.
That's so sweet. I love that. Okay, Eva announces there's like a hit list nomination thing and they have to find that secret bookcase, which of course, I love that shit. But Jax is like, I'm not going in there. Hell no. I am not going in there. Basically, like Jax was not going to do Traitors, like none of these other spinoff shows that they do. Nope, Jax, you're not going to get called because it's too confusing for him. So they go into like the supervillain fortress stronghold thing. The hit list goes Corinne, duh, she votes Corinne first. We're like, we saw that coming. Shake, and we're like, should have agreed to her alliance, you dumbass. And that was exactly why she voted him in. Like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And then the way Omarosa gives this whole speech, she dragged it on for everyone.
She did.
Before announcing, we were like, it's going to be bananas. It's going to be bananas. But instead, I saw someone else who was just as physical and actually gave him a run for his money. Jax. Jax is like, yeah, vote me off, guys. I'm actually...
He paid her to put his name in.
He's like, please get me out of here. Corinne's final interview is so ridiculous. She's like, America's going to hate you even more than they do now. Fucking loser. Lots of hair flipping.
Yeah.
I'm like, she doesn't give a shit.
And
That's
you didn't
why
even
you're
know
here.
who she was. Like, how do you know if
Exactly.
America hates her or not? Shut up.
You don't get it. Like, she thrives off that.
Yeah.
She thrives
When
off the
she
hate.
took that throne to give nominations and took about 3 minutes to get there, she walked slowly in front of it. Then she turned around and stood there for about 30 seconds before sitting down. It was unnecessary. But also, I never want to see anyone sit down unlike that again. Like,
Yeah, like,
everyone I want to see
she
sit down
set
has
the
to sit down.
tone.
Yeah.
And also it's not easy to do that, like to execute that like in real time, like to be the person that's like holding up the next scene because you're like, hold on, I'm not done standing here. I shall sit now. Production's like, no one told her to do that, right?
Yeah.
Nope, no one told her to do
She
that.
is just so extra, but I'm obsessed with that.
I think she's gonna be in like because the luxury prize things are those like trios that get to go do whatever, and she looks like she's in one with Bananas and Fair Play. She's like in all of them. So she's gonna go far.
Yeah,
I think. Love it. Love the show. Again, would have preferred to see how they like vote off and stuff in the first episode. But okay, so I'm thinking because that the amazing moment where Tiffany Pollard says you're a cunt, Republican, whatever, all that stuff. It looks like I bet Omarosa votes Tiffany up.
Yeah,
I think that's when Tiffany's going to say that to her.
I think so too. And I don't know why this happens, but we also have Tiffany later in the season calling Bananas a reptilian amphibian motherfucker. So,
and he's like smiling as she says it. So I'm wondering if he's like, if it's a joke or if he's just like, even in the moment, he's like, this is so good.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's when he's like, I don't have to do anything here. Like,
yeah.
Because Johnny does not give a shit about being in trouble ever.
No.
He thrives. That's why this show is supposed to be so good, because true villains. That's also why Corinne and Shake, although Shake and Jax do not get along, and I'm here for that. Like, they have a rivalry still. But like, when you're new to this, you don't understand that when you're in a scene where you're like getting yelled at or something, or like you're the enemy, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's like part of it.
Yeah.
And so Bananas can like live in that moment. Bananas is like, oh, this is good TV. He can tell. All right.
So
well,
good.
so excited. All right, guys, this next week's episode is going to be on time. We swear.
We swear.
We
I won't
promise.
I'll stop having a life.
Yeah, it's like annoying already.
I know. I'm the worst.
Like, stop being so popular. If you guys don't follow Donnie's on Instagram, you're really fucking missing out. I'm not kidding. Like, it is constant chaos, and his stories are so entertaining. So follow @RealDonnieWood. Everything's linked in the description of the episode. But also, I'm going to pitch for you. I Am the Cute One is more unhinged than ever. His podcast with Chelsea. It's so good. So please listen to it everywhere. You will not be surprised. It's one of my favorite podcasts. If I ever listen to a podcast anymore these days.
I know. It's so
I don't even have time.
I know.
But anyway, guys, love you. Mean it. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been a preview of my new podcast, She Speaks It All, where I'm covering all the non-Bravo shows that I'm obsessed with, like The Challenge, Drag Race, Jersey Shore Family Vacation, and just like that. So if you want to check out the whole episode, head to the link in the description. It'll take you to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, but it's also available anywhere and everywhere you get your podcasts. So please check out She Speaks It All. Also, make sure you're following She Speaks It All Pod on TikTok and on Instagram. Love you, mean it.